Agile is a mindset focused on delivering value incrementally, effectively. However, to implement Agile effectively, teams require a structured approaches. This is where Agile frameworks come in. Agile frameworks provide a guidance on roles, workflows, and processes to help the teams to operate efficiently. Scalability for different types of projects, from small software teams to large enterprise programs. Consistency in agile adoption, reducing the confusion and ensuring the best practices. So each agile framework varies in the structure and flexibility. For example, you have Scrum, and Scrum is iteration based, which is a lightweight framework. Kanban is flow based, which is continuous delivery. Scaled Agile framework, which we are going to discuss each of these framework in separate sessions to see how it operates, what is the framework, what is the best practices, what are these challenges. We'll see how some of these real world example can be implemented um, utilizing this framework. Again, Scaled Agile framework is designed for large enterprises, and you also have less scale Scrum, which extends Scrum for multiple teams. Finally, you have the Disciplined Agile, which is the DA, as PMI's decision-based Agile toolkit. Start with Scrum, which is the most popular Agile framework. Scrum is a lightweight Agile framework, emphasizing, let's say, a short time-boxed iteration, which we call them sprints. And sprints usually are from 1 to 4 weeks. Also, Agile framework emphasizing the importance of regular feedback loops to ensure customer satisfaction. Also, the self-organizing teams that deliver incremental value. And some of these Scrum roles or Scrum framework roles includes the Scrum Master. Scrum Master, you as a project manager, who removes the impediments, facilitates Scrum adoption. The next role as part of the Scrum here is the product owner. And product owner is like you think that they are the stakeholders or the business owner that you are working for, who prioritizes the backlog and maximizes the value. Development team is the third and only, let's say, Scrum role. And the development team is cross-functional teams who delivers the increments, including testers, developers, programmers, business analysts. So whoever within the product, the within the development team, who does the project and delivers these increments as per the Scrum Master and the product owner priorities. And we have this Scrum ceremonies, and Scrum ceremonies is like what are the key events that is involved when following the Scrum framework. So Scrum framework includes four main ceremonies, includes the sprint planning. And sprint planning is conducted to think of what would be the work will be delivered. After sprint planning, you have the daily stand up, and daily stand up is like what is the progress on the project itself, and it's a daily stand up, has to happen every, let's say, day. After the daily stand up, now it's the time to deliver some of these results where the sprint review comes. So the third ceremony here we have is sprint review, and sprint review is made to see what was achieved. The last, let's say, ceremony here is the sprint retrospective, and that ceremony is made to, let's say, to understand what can be improved in terms of the processes, what are the mistakes that were done, how we can avoid them in order to have a continuous improvement over, let's say, the Scrum, let's say, sprints. We're gonna discuss each of these phases, each of these roles, each of these, let's say, how the role works together, how the ceremonies start, what are the purpose, each of them in more in depth. Also, we'll look at some of these artifacts or the Scrum artifacts, including the product backlog, which prioritize the work list. Also, the sprint backlog, which work committed to the sprint that is going to be implemented. And finally, one of these important artifacts, which is called the increment. And the increment is like the piece of work that were completed, potentially like as a shippable work. So we're gonna discuss each of these in more in depth when we come to the let's say Scrum framework. But now let's move to the next framework here we have is the Kanban. And Kanban is a flow-based agile framework. Kanban is a visual workflow management system focusing on continuous delivery instead of fixed length sprints. Key Kanban principles here are including to visualize the work. And by visualizing the work, that all of these tasks are displayed on a Kanban board. And these, let's say, Kanban board are divided into four key sections or five section, six section, depends on the workflow that you agree with you and your team. But mainly, it contains four key, let's say, um, workflows or four divided to four section includes do or in progress, maybe some testing, and sometimes done. So it depends on you and the team who agrees on what would be the workflows, how to move things from to do to in progress to done. The next key principle Kanban of Kanban is to limit the work in progress. And to limit the work on progress, it's like reducing the multitasking, which improves the focus on a certain task. And the one of the most important principles of Kanban is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is like measuring the cycle time to optimize the efficiency. To understand the difference between Scrum and Kanban, in an aspect of the time box iteration, the Scrum, yes, because it has sprints. So in Scrum, there is a time boxed iteration. When it comes to Kanban, in Kanban, there is no time box, it's continuous flow. When it comes to the roles, as Scrum, we mentioned that there are specific roles that Scrum events have to have, including the Scrum Master, the product owner, also the development team. When it comes to Kanban, Kanban has no predefined roles. When it comes to the aspect of prioritization, the prioritization in Scrum, it depends on the sprint backlog. When it comes to Kanban, Kanban has no, let's say, sprint backlog, but it has a continuous prioritization based on the, say, on the leadership and the team prioritization of these tasks. Agile for large enterprises. So scaled agile for enterprises or for the large organizations applies agile at scale by introducing agile release train, which aligns multiple teams on common goals. You also have program increment planning, which defines the work for 8 to 12 weeks. Also, by applying Agile at scale and by introducing the lean portfolio management, which aligns the business strategy with Agile execution. So, the SAFE organizes Agile teams into four levels, and these four levels, which part of the scaling Agile for the large enterprises, these teams or these levels include the team level, and the team level is the individual of Agile teams, whether it's Scrum or Kanban. After the team level, you have the program level. And the program level here, where are the multiple teams who collaborates to, let's say, to establish a certain goal or a certain objective, which is part of the bigger project goal. After the program level, you have the large solution level. And large solution level is like coordinating large different systems, multiple programs that serves a certain, let's say, goal or an objective. And the fourth level here,